Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 407. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is start having 6 and 7 figure conversation, 7 tips to level up. Start having 6 and 7 figure conversations, 7 tips to level up. So just like in any sport, there are levels to the game, guys, and entrepreneurship has different levels. So today we're going to discuss how to level up your business and start having those conversations that are going to take you to 6 and 7 figures. So we're going to give you 7 tips today to help you do that. Now, before we get to today's show, let me just share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Also, 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black economy, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com, and also my new rebranded, rebooted BEBAcademy.com, which is an online learning portal that helps you elevate your entrepreneur IQ and improve your business. There are resources, online courses, masterclasses about finance, marketing, e-commerce, how to set up your business via LLC, and all types of resources to take you to the next level. You can get 3 days free access at BEBAcademy.com. Also, today's show is sponsored by PodcasterWeekly.com. If you're interested in building a 6-figure podcast, go to PodcasterWeekly.com, sign up for the free newsletter, and you'll get resources and information to help you build a 6-figure podcast. PodcasterWeekly.com. Also, 2 quick reminders, guys. Don't forget to sign up for the BEB newsletter. It comes out every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we have show notes in the newsletter. So if you're riding in the car and you can't write things down or take notes or copy links down, make sure you go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, the website, and at the bottom of the page, it'll say newsletter or join us. And so everything I talk about and all the links will be in the newsletter, and it's a free newsletter. So make sure you go to the website and sign up for the newsletter. Also, don't forget my new companion podcast, Ask Jay Live, which is a live conversation between yours truly and the BEB family, is switched now to Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. so more people can participate. Before it was on Tuesday at 12 noon, and a lot of people were reaching out to me saying, hey, I can't call in and participate. So make sure you go to AskJLive.com and subscribe. So when you have questions for me, you can get your questions answered live on air. AskJLive.com is exclusively on the Call-In app, CALLIN, Call-In app, which is on Android and Apple. So make sure you go there, but you can go to AskJLive.com. Looking forward for the conversation every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And one more reminder, I just remembered, guys, the free leads workshop got pushed back from last week until this Wednesday. So if you're interested in signing up for the free leads workshop, which can help you generate leads for your business for free, go to freeleadsworkshop.com. There's 2 spots left, freeleadsworkshop.com. And it's going to be the next 2 Wednesday nights starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, now let's get ready to get into today's content. Start having 6 and 7 figure conversations, 7 tips to level up. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, there's levels to the game when it comes to entrepreneurship. And you may be stuck at a particular level and can't break through. So today we're going to talk about some tips that can help you do that. And it's funny, I was watching Instagram the other day and I heard a brother named Neo DeViso, a brother, very serious entrepreneur. Make sure you check him out, Neo DeViso. And he said, start having 6 and 7 figure conversations. And it came to me and I started thinking about why many entrepreneurs get stuck at certain levels and can't break through. So today I'm going to give you 7 tips to help you break through to the next level. And this show is probably going to be a little shorter than the normal shows, but it's going to be deep in content. So tip number 1, and we're talking about having 6 and 7 figure conversations and leveling up your business. Tip number 1 is change your environment. So what environment do you do business in? Do you work from home by yourself, or do you have an office, or do you work in a co-working environment? And sometimes we need to be around the energy of other entrepreneurs to give us that extra incentive and make things happen. So have a 6 and 7 figure conversation in a new environment. Try something new. So for example, I have an office at the house and I also have a WeWork location in Philadelphia. So make sure you check out WeWork if you need a co-working place. And one of the things that I like about going to my WeWork office is I'm surrounded by other entrepreneurs. Sometimes, especially during this COVID, when you're working by yourself, you're in your house, you're not leaving your house, things can get stagnant and stale. So change your environment sometimes. Sometimes I'll even go to the library. If I don't have to make calls, I'll go to the library just to be around other people. And that way, that'll get my juices flowing. But a lot of times, the synergy that you get when you're in a co-working space or when you're in an office environment is a lot different than at home. I know some people can't stand working out of the house. My wife is one of them. So when COVID was going on, she couldn't stand working out of the house because she wants to be able to think of the home as a place of relaxation and rest, as opposed to identifying it with work. So change your environment. That could be as simple as going to Panera Bread or somewhere where you can go and you see other people working. Sometimes we need that spark. We need that encouragement because it's a mental game and you can get super stagnant if you're working at home in isolation. And so we as human beings, we're not solo creatures. We need interaction. And even if you're not working or don't have employees, it's just good to be around other people, seeing them work, because that can help motivate you. So tip number 1, change your environment. If you're finding that you can't break through, it may be because you're not in an environment that's conducive for you to break through. So like I said, I don't get paid from WeWork, but I do have a WeWork office. And the beauty about that is if you are a WeWork member, you can go to any city that has WeWork offices and go jump in their offices. So when I'm in LA, I can go to one of the WeWorks in LA. If I'm in New York, same thing. So tip number 1, change your environment. Now, everything we're talking about is designed to help you level up your business to be 6 and a 7 figure business. Tip number 2, change the information you receive. So we're all inundated with all types of information all day long. And the information can be good or bad. And you know, the old saying is garbage in equals garbage out. So if you're taking and listening to bad information, then what's going to come out is bad work. You're not going to be able to move your business to the levels or heights that you need to move your business. And so what you have to do is you got to really think about where you're getting your entrepreneur information. Are you getting your entrepreneur information from somebody or some source that has never built a successful business before? Or are you getting it from sources that have built successful businesses? So you really have to be cautious. And one of the things I always talked about in college, you have, my business professors, a lot of them never had a business. So what are they doing? They're speaking from theory. Okay. Theory does not stand or light a candle to practical application and experience and know-how. So I always talk about the difference between knowledge and know-how. Knowledge can be acquired anywhere. I can read a book. I can take an online course. I can watch TV. I can read the flight manual of an F-15 fighter jet. And so I can read a F-15 fighter jet manual. I can look at videos. I can do everything. And the difference between knowledge and know-how is this. So I have knowledge of how to fly an F-15 fighter jet. But if Jay Jones jumped in the cockpit of that, I don't know how to fly it because I don't have the experience. Knowledge can come from anywhere. Know-how only comes from doing. So you want to go and your goal should be getting the know-how. Change the information you receive and make sure it's coming from credible sources. Okay? That's the big thing. And there's a ton of gurus out there, espousing get rich quick schemes and putting out all of this misinformation. You got motivational speakers that'll make you run through a wall, but not give you any actionable steps. So be careful about the information that you receive. Make sure it's coming from credible sources. I had to actually pare down the information I was getting. I cut down the podcasts I listened to. I cut down my sources of information to credible sources. Because if you don't stay locked in, every day you're going to hear something new and it's going to take you off your game. Oh, let me try this. Oh, this guru said this. That guru said that. Let me try this, that, and the other thing. And before you know it, a confused mind can't make decisions, right? So be careful of what comes in. Garbage in equals garbage out. And what we're talking about, guys, is 7 tips to level up your business. Start having 6- and 7-figure conversations. So there are levels to the game. Entrepreneurship has different levels. And these tips are geared to help take you to another level. So that was number 2, change the information you receive. Number 3, change the people you confide in. Just like information, there are positive people that can help your business or negative people that will kill your dreams. So remember, guys, entrepreneurship is a language and not everybody speaks entrepreneurship. So you need to understand and be careful who you confide in. So, for example, if you're telling your dreams, your entrepreneurial dreams, to somebody that's a civilian, meaning somebody that doesn't mind working in corporate America, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're talking to them, remember the source. If they have no entrepreneurial dreams, when you're talking to them, entrepreneurship is a foreign language to them. Okay? So you need to change the people you confide in. And even if people do believe in entrepreneurship, there are many people, and unfortunately, a lot of them will be your family and close friends that are going to, poo-poo on your idea. They're going to be like, oh, who do you think you are to do this? And what that is a lot of times is envy and jealousy, because they may not have the gumption or the intestinal fortitude to go out and try to create their own dreams. They're scared. And a lot of times what it does, it makes them look in the mirror. And now they're looking at their reflection and they're not happy at what they see, because Jay is out there doing his thing, trying to reach his entrepreneurial dreams. So not everybody that's close to you, and it could be husband, wife, it could be spouse, partner, family, friend, brother, sister, whoever, is going to be happy for you when you start chasing your entrepreneurial dream. A lot of times jealousy will come into play because they don't have the intestinal fortitude, as I said, to go out and chase their dream. And then they get mad at you when they look in the mirror and there's things that envy and jealousy come into play. So your dream was given specifically to you. It wasn't given to your sister. It wasn't given to your brother. It wasn't given to your mother, father, spouse, partner, or whatever. That's your dream that was given to you. So recognize and understand that not everybody that you tell about your dream is going to be on board. So be very careful of the people that you confide in. And that's tip number 3. Change the people you confide in. Okay? Now, I understand if you have a spouse or partner, you're going to have to let them know, hey, look, I'm about to start my business. And you're going to have to talk that through. But outside people that it doesn't personally affect, You don't need to say nothing to them unless you think that these people are going to be a positive influence for you. And don't get it twisted, family. Like I said, many times the people that hate the most are your family members and friends. So just be cognizant of that. Tip number 4, think big, but start small. Think big, but start small. And we're talking about start having 6 and 7 figure conversations, 7 tips to level up your business. Think big, but start small. So in order to go to 6 or 7 figures, guys, you got to start thinking bigger. You have to start thinking bigger, but you need to start small and build the right foundation for your business. Okay? You got to build a foundation. So sometimes when we look at our potential we have for our business, it's almost overwhelming, and I'm going to give you a real life example of my hot sauce, right? So what I do, not sometimes, most of the time what I do is I reverse engineer what I want to complete. I use reverse engineering on my business by thinking about what the end is and then moving to the beginning. And in business, a lot of times there is no real end until you sell your business or it shuts down or whatever. But I think in the future, and then I work back. And I'm going to give you an example with my Hell Yeah hot sauce, right? So if y'all need any hot sauce, make sure you go to hellyeahhotsauce.com. I'm telling you, it's the best. I don't want to give a shameless plug, but I'm giving a shameless plug. All right. But here's an example, right, of thinking big, but starting small. I had a conversation with one of my good friends, and he's like, yo, man, how come you don't have your hot sauce in a lot of stores right now? And I said, well, I'm building the foundation before I go and reach out to some of the major chain stores, because when you reach out to them and they want to purchase your product or service, you got to be ready to go. And so I started out small, selling online. I'm doing pretty well online, but the vision and the reverse engineering comes like this. So this is how it happens. My vision for Hell Yeah Hot Sauce is to be in all of your major retail chains. Now, because my hot sauce is a premium hot sauce, small batch, premium hot sauce, all natural gourmet hot sauce, I'm not going to be in Walmart. I'm not going to be in low price stores because the type of product I have. Remember, I always talk about aligning your product, your pricing, and your perception. So this isn't a hot sauce you're going to find in Walmart. But my long-term vision is to be in all the major retailers, Whole Foods, and a lot of retailers. So what do I need to accomplish that? I'm going to need a team. I'm going to need a warehouse. I'm going to need a distribution manager. I'm going to have somebody that be a warehouse manager. I'm going to have sales reps, and I'm going to have a whole infrastructure to meet that goal. Now, am I there yet? No. But what I do is I write out everything that I'm going to need at that point in the future where my business is mature. I write out the names of the employees, how many employees that I'm going to have, what my estimated payroll is. And I know this is a lot. You don't have to go down to the payroll, but you want to write it out. And so I'm going to have several distribution centers throughout the United States. And I'm also going to work with other distribution centers that I can actually, partner out with. And I have a top 100 stores that I want to be in. So if you ever read the book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, great book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. They talk about your, not fantasy 100, something 100, but the top 100 stores that or accounts that you want to have in your business, clients that you want to have in your business. Whole Foods is in there for me. There's other companies in there for me that I want to do business with. And so I look at what it's going to look like in the future and I map that out. And then what I do is I come back to the present. Okay, I need this, and this in the future. Then I'll bring it back another 5 years, bring it back another 3 years, then I bring it back to the present. So at the present, it's me and a virtual assistant right now. Okay, but I know to get to the next level, which is breaking into 10 big box stores within the next 12 to 18 months, this is what I need to do. And you break it down by time frame, but you reverse engineer what you want. You start small, but you think big. So your vision, guys, in order to get to 6 and 7 figures, you got to have a bigger vision of what you want. The problem is a lot of times we'll have that big vision and it overwhelms us because we're like, damn, we're nowhere close to having this. And that's exactly where I am with the hot sauce. I don't have somebody to manage my inventory and my shipping, my logistics. I don't have an extra warehouse. I have a warehouse, but it's a small one. But I'm going to need a super big one. I'm going to need multiple warehouses. So don't let that intimidate you by thinking big. In order to get a 6 or 7 figure business, and I'm not talking about $100,000 business when I say 6-figure business. I'm talking about, mid to high 6 figures, 500, 600, 700, 800, $900,000 businesses. Then you go into the 7-figure businesses. And so in order to do that, guys, your vision has to change. And I know you may start off with a solopreneurship. It's just you out there doing it. That's cool. A lot of businesses start off like that. Amazon started out like that. Jeff Bezos in his garage out there by himself. Now look what that turned into. So we're talking about start having 6 and 7 figure conversations, 7 tips to level up. Number 4, think big, but start small. And I use reverse engineering for my business and able to recreate or determine what I need to do in those next steps. I look at the future and then I come back to the present. Tip number 5, level up your network to a 6 and 7 figure network. Level up your network to a 6 and 7 figure network. So the old saying is you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? And according to Jim Rohn, if you aren't intentional about the people you spend your time with, you won't be able to gain the continuous personal improvement that you're looking for. So you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, I know if you're married or you have a spouse or partner or whatever, that's going to be a person that you're going to spend a lot of time with probably. But the other 4 people, you got to change that sometime, guys. You got to change that. So start to really look at the people you spend your time with and level up that network. Okay, you can find a group of entrepreneurs to start a group. So now since the COVID is kind of waning down a little bit, you can go to meetup.com. You can find entrepreneurial groups. You can start groups, but you need to level up your network of people. And I know with COVID, it was tough, but now you got to get back out there. Start mingling and interacting with people that are at high 6 and 7 figure businesses. Form some type of relationship with them so you can start understanding. Because I'm telling you, I had to do this. I still got a lot of good friends, from way back. But, hey, man, I need to level up. So I got to start hanging around and doing things with people that are levels above me. And that's the only way you're going to grow. If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're not going to really do nothing for yourself. You're going to help others, but you need to be around smarter people than you. And when I say smarter, I'm not talking about you being ignorant or anything, but people in terms of entrepreneurship that are more successful than you. That's what you have to do. So you need to level up your network to high 6-figure and 7-figure networks. All right. So, for example, if you're in real estate, right? And I know there are a lot of real estate organizations out there and you're starting in your real estate investment career. You want to hang out with cats that have millions of dollars of real estate assets. You want to talk to them. You want to find out the meetings they go to, the social places that they hang out, the events that they're going to. So now you can level up and learn from people that are doing what you're trying to do. So really think about your network. And this doesn't mean being mean to your friends that don't want to do anything in entrepreneurship. It's just saying, hey, look, you can have your old friend network if you want, but I need to create a new network. I need to create an entrepreneur network that's going to help me increase my business and break through that ceiling so I can take it to the next level. All right. So number 5, level up your network to a 6 and 7-figure network. Tip number 6, and we're talking about 7 tips to level up your business. Start having 6 and 7-figure conversations. Tip number 6, start having 6 and 7-figure mentors. All right. So if you want to learn how to do something, find a mentor that's already done it. Okay, they've done what you want to do. So these mentors, they can come in the form of paid mastermind groups. They could be a mentorship. It can be an apprenticeship. But the best way to learn to do something is from someone that has already done it and is doing it. So for example, my freeleadsworkshop.com. I'm generating free leads. I'm a 7-figure conversation. And so you got to start hanging with people or getting mentorship from people that are doing high 6 and 7 figures if you want to be in that ballpark. You can't talk to some, I'm not saying you can't talk to them, but you're not going to do yourself any favors if the group that you're hanging in and the mentors that you're dealing with don't have 6 and 7 figures if you're trying to get to the 6 and 7 figure level. How are they going to tell you how to do it if they haven't done it yet? That's why I use the term, I'm not a guru, I'm a duru. I do what I'm talking about. I've done what I'm talking about. I'm not working off of theory. I'm working off of practical application. So you need to start having 6 and 7 figure mentors. Like I said, if you're in the real estate game and you're looking to be an investor, you don't want to be mentored by somebody that has one house. You want to be mentored by somebody that's got 50 houses, 100 houses. That's $1 million, generating millions of dollars. Not that you can't learn from somebody with one house, but you want to be able to have a mentor or mentors that are doing exactly what you want to do. You can learn from anybody, but if you're going to learn from somebody that's doing what you want to do or has done what you want to do. They can tell you a little better because they have the actual experience of whatever you're trying to accomplish. So start having 6 and 7 figure mentors. And last but not least, number 7, start having 6 and 7 figure mindset. Start having a 6 and 7 figure mindset. So you need the mindset that says, yes, it's possible. Yes, I can do it. So you need to start training your mind and changing your habits of that to successful 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. It's all about discipline and habits, really. So if you listen to Kobe Bryant, any of his old videos, and he talks about the discipline it takes to be great. And so he talks about working out, and I'm not going to get this exactly right, but he said, if I wake up at 4 a.m. and I work out from 6 to 8, come back home, have breakfast, work out from 10 to 12, come back home and have lunch, work out from 2 to 4, come back home and have dinner, and then work out from 6 to 8 at night. He said, I've literally put in 8 hours of work in that day, where somebody else, another player, all they do is put in work during the off season and they may work out a couple hours. And he said, over time, because I've put in all this work, there's no way that they're going to be able to catch me. So he said by year 3, 4, and 5, he said, I'm so far ahead of them with the work that I put in that it doesn't matter what they do in the summertime because I have discipline and I'm putting in consistent work. And so having that 6 and 7 figure mindset, that says, yes, it's possible. So you may want to get up earlier. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. To me, that's my quiet time. I don't meditate per se, but I take usually 20 to 30 minutes to think, to relax, look forward to what the day holds, right? So you want to commit a specific time to your craft each and every day and hold true to that. I know as entrepreneurs, sometimes things happen and we get taken off our track, but you need to commit a specific time, hourly, to your business. And I don't care if you got a part-time business. You got to make time for that too. So you got to make sure that you do that. All right. Also, set clear and concise goals with time frames. And this is all about the mindset of a high 6-figure, 7-figure business. Clear and concise goals with a time frame. Don't say I want to have 5 Hell Yeah Hot Sauce stores eventually. Say I want 5 Hell Yeah Hot Sauce stores in 24 months. So it needs to be a time specific. You need to set key performance indicators. And whatever they are for your business, you need to create those. How many sales do you want a day? How many leads do come in each day? How many new accounts do I get each month? How much revenue am I generating? Key performance indicators, KPIs. You need to create those so you understand where your business is in its growth. And also with the mindset, treat your business like a business, not a hobby. Treat your business like a business, not a hobby. There are a lot of people out there that want a full-time income, but you putting hobby hours into it. Okay? There's no way to create a full-time income if you're not using or expending full-time hours on your business. Yes, there are levers that you can push, and there's leverage, and we know about that, scaling and all that. But you got to put the work in, like Kobe said. And understand, guys, you get out what you put in. Part-time effort equals part-time results, right? BS effort equals BS results. You wondering why you can't scale? Because your mind isn't right. You got to understand entrepreneurship is a profession. It's a profession. And a profession means you get paid for it. Are you a volunteer or are you an entrepreneur? Volunteers don't get paid. And some of y'all are working your businesses like you a volunteer. All right. So you got to start focusing that entrepreneurship is a profession. You need to understand and get your mind right. Always try to learn. And that's what today's show is about, guys, is giving you the tips to level up and break through to the high 6 figures and 7 figures. I ain't talking about $100,000. You can do that in your sleep if you're focused. I'm talking about 500, 600, 700, 800, 900,000, $1 million and above. And in order to get to that place, guys, your mindset has to change. It has to change. You know, it also depends on your goal. So if your goal as a side hustle is to make $1,000 a month, you know, this show or episode probably isn't for you because you don't have the desire to build and scale your business that high. You're just looking for a part-time side hustle, and that's cool. But for those of you that are listening that are trying to take this to 7 figures, it's going to be a whole different mindset shift. You got to understand what it takes to get to 7 figures. So if you want to do $1 million in revenue a year, all right, that means that you have to generate $2,739.72 each day, $2,739 a day to get to $1 million in revenue. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but if you build your business correctly and you follow some of these 7 tips, you can do it. And it's all about scaling once you get up. Now, before we get to the last quarter of the show, let me share my resource links and my contact information. So all of this can be found at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Please utilize the new super website. It's the #1 source for Black entrepreneur resources. blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Click any tab you want, and it's going to lead you to where you need to be. So I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy, $14.95 for the print version, $9.95 for the digital version. It's also on the website. If you need additional assistance building a successful, sustainable e-commerce business, my Brand Builder Academy Elite program is out. It is the #1 pound for pound program on the market to help you build a physical products brand or a digital products brand. Go to bbaelite.com for more information, or once again, go to the site. I also mentioned at the top of the show the 2 platforms I created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com. So if you're a Black product producer that wants to sell your product to Black consumers worldwide, upload your product info to BeSmartByBlack.com. It is free, and you can connect with consumers all over the world that want to buy your products. Didn't forget about you freelancers. So if you do anything on Fiverr.com or Freelancer.com, upload your information to HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE, BlackFreelancers.com, and now you can connect with Black consumers and Black business owners that want to hire Black freelancers. Also, I mentioned at the top of the show, BEBacademy.com. Go get your 3 days free access to everything in the online learning portal. and help elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Also, guys, everything I'm telling you now and I'm about to tell you is on the website. Please utilize blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Hit the Learn tab, and you can learn anything you want to learn. E-commerce, strategy and mindset, scaling your business, finance, anything that you want is there. Now, to connect with me, guys, anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001, Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts. The first one is J Jones for Real. That's JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Clubhouse at I am J Jones. LinkedIn, J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, don't forget my YouTube channel. Please go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit the subscribe button. We have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Yes, the show does come out on YouTube and all your major podcast platforms. Also, guys, make sure you tune in next week. I'm going to have the show BEB live from LA. Producer Melvin Graham from the documentary series Black Business LA is going to be on. So if you missed the LA event, make sure you tune in next week. That's the episode that's coming up. And obviously you can watch it on YouTube like all the other episodes, or you can listen to it on one of our major podcast platform partners. All right. Once again, everything I just said, guys, go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com and utilize that beautiful new website. All right. So let me just give a wrap up real quick. So today's topic was start having those 6 and 7 figure conversations, 7 tips to level up. So you have to be cognizant, guys, and intentional about building a high 6-figure and 7-figure business. You just can't do that willy-nilly. You just can't wake up and, I got a high 6-figure, 7-figure business. You have to be intentional. So real quick, here's some of the tips. Change your environment, number 1. Number 2, change the information you receive. Number 3, change the people you confide in. Number 4, think big but start small. Number 5, level up your network to 6 and 7-figure people. Number 6, start having 6 and 7-figure mentors. And number 7, start having a 6 and 7-figure mindset. And it really all starts with the mindset. Nothing else is going to matter if your mindset is not in the right place. So if you have a small mindset, that's as far as your business is going to go. If you don't think your business can be a 7-figure business, you're going to be right. Because you're not going to do the things that make your business a 7-figure business because you don't think it's possible to do so. So the mindset is the first thing. So once again, be very cautious about what comes in your mind. Remember, garbage in equals garbage out. If you're listening to bad information and then you're applying that bad information or, misconstrued information from people or sources that aren't credible, then you're not going to be successful. You want to connect yourself with people that are doing what you want to do. People that have experience in doing it. But it's so funny because you'll find most people will tell you how to do something and they ain't never done it themselves. Oh yeah, it's easy to build a 7-figure business. All right, how did you build yours? And then you don't get a response back because they're talking. Talking is the easiest thing to do. It's about doing something and not just anything. It's doing things that are intentional to grow your business and level up your business. Because in reality, guys, the talk is cheap. It's the action. What's behind it? Anybody can talk about building a high 6-figure, 7-figure business, but are you putting the action behind it? And it's funny, growing up in Philly as a young boy, a lot of times, people, you're young, you're getting into fights and stuff on the block or whatever. And there was always somebody that was all they did was talk, running their mouth. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and this. And when it was time for the action, they running around, hiding behind down somebody's alleyway or whatever, hiding, never want to knuckle up. And so my whole thing always was, you can win the talking battle. What you going to do? What you going to do? And that's the question I'm asking the BEB family right now. What you going to do? You can talk all you want, but what are you really going to do? And so I take that same mentality from growing up on my block. Yeah, go ahead. You can talk. That don't mean nothing. What you going to do? So if you want to build a high 6-figure, 7-figure business, what you going to do? You got to put the action behind it, and not just any action, intentional action. Change your environment, change the information you receive, change the people you confide in. Think big, but start small. Level up your network to the 6 and 7-figure network. Start having 6 and 7-figure mentors, and start having a 6 and 7-figure mindset. What you going to do? Those are some of the things that you need to do to break through that plateau that you're at right now. Break through that plateau. Some things that you want to look at too is, what are you currently selling? How can you scale it? Do you need to bring on more products and or services? So in order to reach that $2,700 a day, if you're selling a $10 product, that's a hell of a lot of product you got to be moving, right? Not that it's impossible, but you have to understand what you're selling and how you can scale to that 7-figure business. And I'll use the hot sauce for example. So if my average bottle of hot sauce sells for $10 or $12, that means I got to sell, 270 or 275 bottles a day, right? To gross $2,700. That sounds like a lot, right? But if I'm able to scale this business and I'm in 270 stores, that means all I got to do is sell one bottle out of each store for that day, and I'll make it. But if I had a product or service that's a higher ticket product or service, then I don't have to sell as many units to reach that 7-figure business. So sometimes you have to look at your product mix or your service mix and see if it's always possible, but to see if it's near or closer to being possible or more feasible based on your product or service mix. So those are some of the things you have to look at too when you look to scale your business to high 6 and 7 figures. But the key, guys, is your mindset. Make sure you have that 7-figure mindset, because anything else after that, it don't even matter. So I'm going to close with what you going to do, family. What you going to do? Talk is cheap, but what you really going to do to scale to a high 6 or 7-figure business. Now, I say this each and every week, guys, before we close out. We get more and more downloads each episode, and that's because of you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the new website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Make sure you go to the site and leverage the resources on there, and the whole BEB ecosystem with the online courses, the books, and everything. We couldn't do it without you guys, and I greatly appreciate you, and I love you. So please make sure you spread the word about everything. And remember, it ain't about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.